Good morning everyone. I am going to start today's session, and at the start of this session I would like to mention the learning outcomes of this session. So writing the learning outcomes well. On successful completion of this session, students will be able to first identify determinate and indeterminate structures, and then second learning outcome is to compare between determinate and indeterminate structures. So these are the learning outcomes. In the first learning outcome, we will try to identify some structures based on its configuration, that whether it is determinate or indeterminate structure. And in the second learning outcome, we would like to compare these two type of structures named as determinate structures and indeterminate structures. Means we can compare whether which one is better in the performance criteria. So these learning outcomes can be achieved by the example. So I am drawing some examples, and by the help of those examples, these learning outcomes can be achieved. So first of all, I am drawing one truss element. Suppose this is a truss element. We have not mentioned any support reactions or any support in this truss. So in this case, there are four axial members in this truss. According to the geometrical stability, this truss is not stable. Means such type of configuration cannot stabilize its own geometry. So this type of structure is unstable. This is not determinate and this is unstable, because in order to stabilize its own geometry, it needs at least 5 members, but we have provided only 4 members. So using the 4 members, this type of geometry cannot be stabilized. Now I am adding one diagonal element in that case. In the previous case, if I have added one more member, means now the number of members, here number of members are 4, here number of members are 5. So in order to stabilize its own geometry, minimum number of members needed are 5, and we have provided those 5 members in this example. So this is the case of determinate structure, and it is stable also. And this is basically internal determinate internally. Means once a member stabilizes its own geometry without the help of support, we have not added any support. This truss can stabilize its own geometry if geometrical stability is achieved using a minimum number of n members, and we have provided those n numbers of members in that structure, then it will be internally determinate. We have not talked about external determinacy or indeterminacy. We have just talked about internal determinacy or indeterminacy. So this is determinate internally and stable also. Now we have added one extra member in comparison to the previous member. So in this case, we have added one extra member. Means now the number of members are 6. N is equal to 6. Now in this case, minimum number of members required to stabilize the geometry is 5, but we have added one more member, means we have provided one extra member than the number of members required for its internal stability. So now in this case, it is indeterminate internally by 1 degree. We have added one extra member, so this is indeterminate by 1 degree. If we had added 2 extra members, then it would have indeterminate by 2 degree. And this is stable also. Means if we, without any support, if we put such structures anywhere, the geometry will not be disturbed. But in this case, we cannot stabilize its own geometry with the help of this. So from this example, we can identify determinate or indeterminate structures based on the minimum number of members required to stabilize its own geometry, and this is implying the meaning of internal determinacy or indeterminacy. Now I would like to show external determinacy or instability. Suppose I am taking one beam with one end pinned and another free. In this case, number of support reactions are 2. And using such kind of support reactions, this beam will rotate about this hinge. So this beam is unstable externally. Its own geometry is stabilized, but it cannot put into any space freely. It will make a mechanism. This is not a static condition. It will make a mechanism and it will rotate like this. So this is unstable condition. Now if we put any beam like this, we made this end fixed and another end free. In this case, number of reactions, support reactions are 3. So for this beam, minimum number of support reactions required to make it stabilize externally is 3. So, and we have provided those minimum number of support reactions in this case. So in this case, this is determinate externally. External means if we are making anything stable with respect to the support reactions, then it leads to the external determinacy, indeterminacy or instability. And if we are making its own geometry stable using the number of minimum members, then it is internally stable, determinate or indeterminate. So in this case, minimum support reactions required is 3 and we have provided those minimum number of support reactions. Now, in this case, suppose we have added one extra support at this end. This was free in the previous case, but now we have added one prop here. Number of support reactions in this case is 4 and minimum number of support reactions required to make this beam stable was 3, but we have put 4 number of support reactions in this case. So such kind of beam is indeterminate externally just because we are considering it as per the support reactions. So external indeterminacy is there by 1 degree because we have added one extra support reaction. If suppose we had put this like a pinned connection, then it would have 5 number of support reactions, and in that case it would have 2 degree of indeterminacy, and this is again stable. So this is how we can identify the determinate, indeterminate structures and stable also, stable or unstable structures. In order to identify the determinate or indeterminate structure, we need to either calculate the number of minimum members required to stabilize its own geometry or number of minimum support reactions required to stabilize its structure in any space or any plane. Now, if we would like to compare the strength or compare the determinate versus indeterminate structures, we can say that in order to break this indeterminate structure, means if we want to make this structure unstabilized or unstable, we need to break 2 members. So we need to put extra effort to make this type of structure unstable. And in this case, we have to only break 1 member to make it unstable. So definitely this structure is more stable, means more stronger. In this case also, if we would like to make such kind of beam unstable, then we have to break minimum number of 2 support reactions. Like if we have to break this reaction or we have to break the fixity. Minimum 2 support reactions needed to be broken to make such kind of a structure unstable. But in this case, determinate case, we have to break only 1 support reaction and it will be unstable. So determinate structures are less stable, less stronger, but indeterminate structure are more stable, more stronger. So this is how we can achieve our 2 learning outcomes. On today's session, we have gone through the identification of determinate versus indeterminate structure. Along with that, we have also seen stable or unstable structures. Also, we have compared that determinate structures are less stable than indeterminate structures. So this is how we have accomplished our learning outcomes. So thank you very much for attending this session. Thank you.